Your dog's been trying to tell you something today. Not with barking, not with biting, not with anything loud or obvious, just quiet little signals, sent over and over in moments you walked right past. And here's what nobody ever tells you. Stress in dogs doesn't look the way you think it does. It doesn't announce itself. It hides inside ordinary moments, inside behaviors you've seen 100 times and never questioned. By the end of this video, you're going to look at your dog differently, and some of what you're about to hear is going to stay with you for a long time. Welcome to the Silent Signal. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now. We post videos like this every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming. There are 5 specific signs that your dog is carrying real stress. Not the dramatic kind. Not the kind that sends you rushing to the vet, but the quiet, chronic, daily kind that builds up underneath the surface and changes how your dog experiences every single hour of their life. These signs aren't complicated to spot once you know what you're looking for. They don't require special training or equipment. What they require is understanding what your dog is actually doing and why. Because right now, most owners are seeing these signs every single day and reading them completely wrong. Let's start with the one that almost every single owner gets completely wrong. 1. Picture this. You're sitting on the couch, everything calm, your dog lying nearby, nothing's happening. And then your dog stretches their jaw wide open in a long, slow yawn. You glance over. Maybe you even smile. They seem relaxed, sleepy, settled. Sound familiar? Here's what you don't realize. That yawn had nothing to do with being tired. In human language, yawning means one thing. In dog language, it means something else entirely. What you just watched wasn't your dog winding down. It was your dog's nervous system working overtime, trying to pump the brakes on something it felt rising inside. That yawn is the equivalent of someone pressing their palms flat on a table to keep their hands from shaking. It looks still on the outside. It isn't still on the inside. Studies published in Applied Animal Behavior Science have documented what researchers call calming signals, a set of specific behaviors dogs use to regulate their own stress response and communicate discomfort to those around them. Yawning is one of the most common. When it appears not after sleep but in moments of tension, when a visitor arrives, when voices rise slightly, when the environment shifts, it's a measurably reliable indicator of internal stress activation. The body's doing something. And the yawn is just the visible edge of it. The fix is so simple it almost feels like cheating. For the next 3 days, don't just notice that your dog yawned. Notice when. Write it down if you need to. Morning, evening, during dinner. When guests arrived. When the kids got loud. 3 days of that and you'll see a pattern so clear it'll stop you cold. Once you see it, you can start removing or softening the triggers one by one. You don't need to fix everything at once. You just need to start seeing it. You'll notice something shift when you do. Your dog will seem quieter in the evenings, not because anything dramatic changed, but because you started removing the pressure before it built. But the next sign on this list is even easier to miss. Because most owners don't just overlook it. They actually think it means their dog is happy. 2. Picture this. You come home. Your dog races to the door, spinning, tail going, whole body involved. You reach down to pet them, and for just a second, a blink, they turn their head away. Not growling, not scared, just a small, quiet turn. You don't even clock it. You're already talking to them, ruffling their fur, matching their energy. Sound familiar? Here's the truth nobody talks about. That head turn was a sentence. A clear, deliberate sentence in a language your dog speaks fluently and most owners have never been taught to read. In canine communication, turning the head away is a direct signal. It means the intensity of this moment has crossed a line. It means your dog is trying to dial the emotional volume down. Not because they don't love you, because the greeting itself, the speed and size of it, pushed past what their nervous system could hold comfortably. It's the dog equivalent of someone putting a gentle hand on your arm and saying, quietly, slow down. Veterinary behaviorists have studied this signal specifically and found it's one of the most consistently misread behaviors in companion dogs. because it looks like distraction. It looks like disinterest. But neurologically, the dog's arousal system, the part of the brain that manages stimulation and keeps the body regulated, is working hard. The head turns because the brain needs space, even when the source of that intensity is someone it loves completely. The fix is so simple it almost feels like cheating. When you come home, slow the whole thing down. Don't ignore your dog. Just don't immediately feed the frenzy either. Come in. Put your things down. Let them come to you. Give it 5 seconds. Crouch low instead of leaning over. Speak softly. Let the energy settle before you make full contact. 5 seconds costs you nothing. And to your dog's nervous system, those 5 seconds say everything. You'll see it change quickly. The head turns will get less frequent. Your dog will hold your gaze longer during greetings. And the low-level anxiety that's been woven into every single one of your arrivals will start, slowly, to come apart. 2. But what comes next is harder to see because it doesn't happen during your interactions with your dog at all. It happens when you're not even watching. 3. Picture this. Your dog is sitting quietly. They lift one paw and start licking it. You've seen it 100 times. You assume it's grooming. Normal behavior, nothing to think about. Maybe you even find it kind of sweet. Sound familiar? Here's what you don't realize. Occasional paw licking is grooming. Repetitive paw licking, the kind that happens at the same time each day, or in response to specific situations, or that's left a rusty reddish-brown stain in the fur between the toes, isn't grooming at all. It's self-soothing. It's a loop the body found and keeps returning to because the sensation provides temporary relief from something that never fully goes away. It's the dog equivalent of someone biting their nails down to nothing, not because they want to, but because they can't stop and the habit is the only thing taking the edge off. Research from Tufts University's Cummings School of Veterinary Medicine found a significantly higher correlation between repetitive licking behaviors and elevated baseline cortisol in dogs living in unpredictable or high-stimulation environments. The licking isn't the problem, it's the signal. The chronic background stress driving it is the problem, and if the fur between your dog's toes has any reddish staining right now, that stress has been there longer than you realized. The fix is so simple it almost feels like cheating. Look at the paws first. Check for that staining. Then look at the environment. Is the schedule inconsistent? Is the home frequently loud or unpredictable? Dogs are hardwired for routine, and any environment that constantly breaks that routine creates a low-level stress that never fully resolves. Start with one thing. Add a single quiet 30-minute window into the same part of every day. No guests, no loud sounds, no high energy, just calm, predictable, safe. Do it at the same time every day and don't skip it. You'll notice something shift in 2 to 3 weeks. Not just less licking, a different quality of stillness in your dog across the whole day. Softer around the eyes, less scanning, more genuinely at rest. But the next sign is the one most owners find hardest to believe is stress at all. Because from the outside, it looks exactly like devotion. 4. Picture this. Your dog follows you everywhere. You stand up, they stand up. You walk to the kitchen, they're right behind you. You sit back down, they press against your leg and stay there. You love it. Honestly, it feels like the purest kind of love there is. Sound familiar? Here's the truth nobody talks about. Following you from room to room isn't always love. Sometimes it is. But when it's constant, when your dog can't settle unless they can physically see you, when any distance between you creates visible anxiety in their body, it isn't devotion. It's dependency built on a foundation of stress. Your dog hasn't learned to feel safe in the world on their own. They've learned that you are the only thing standing between them and their fear. And that's not a bond. That's a weight your dog carries every single moment you're not in the room. The American Kennel Club and leading veterinary behaviorists have documented that hyper-attachment patterns in dogs directly mirror insecure attachment studied in developmental psychology. When a dog hasn't been given the tools to regulate their own emotional state, they outsource that regulation entirely to their owner. Your presence becomes their only anchor, which means every moment you're gone isn't just lonely for them. It's destabilizing. It's the floor dropping out. The fix is so simple it almost feels like cheating. You don't need to push your dog away. You need to teach them, slowly and calmly, that the world holds when you step out of sight. Start with micro separations inside your own home. Walk into another room. Wait 30 seconds. Come back. No big departure, no big return. Just quiet and ordinary. Do it several times a day. Extend the time gradually. You're not teaching your dog that you leave. You're teaching them that they're okay when you do. That's a completely different thing. You'll notice something shift over a few weeks. Your dog will start choosing to rest in one room while you're in another. Not because the bond is weaker, because it's finally, genuinely secure. What comes next is the last sign on this list, and it's the one that will stay with you the longest. Because it happens in a moment, most owners consider one of the most connected moments of their entire day. 5. Picture this. You're on the couch together in the evening. You're stroking your dog's back, slowly. They go still under your hand, very still. You keep going. They stay. And there's something about the moment that feels slightly off, even though you can't name it. Something that doesn't quite feel like the warm, melted stillness you'd expect. Sound familiar? Here's what you don't realize. There are two kinds of stillness in a dog. One is the stillness of a nervous system, completely at rest. Soft body, loose jaw, slow breathing, eyelids getting heavy. The other is the stillness of a dog who's tolerating something they find overwhelming and has learned that leaving doesn't feel like an option. Muscles slightly braced, jaw closed tight, eyes open and forward, breathing shallow. They stay because they love you, not because the touch feels safe. And from the outside, those two stillnesses look almost identical. Almost. Research published in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science found that a significant number of dogs in loving, caring homes regularly display stress signals during physical contact with their owners, signals the owners didn't catch because the dog wasn't growling or pulling away. The absence of protest isn't the same as the presence of comfort. Many dogs have learned through repetition that protest doesn't change anything. So they replaced it with stillness, and the stillness got misread as peace. The fix is so simple it almost feels like cheating. Next time you're petting your dog, watch their jaw, watch their breathing, watch whether their eyes soften or stay alert and forward. If you see that braced stillness, stop, give them space, let them come back to you if they want to. When they do, try 10 seconds of contact, then pause. Let them choose to stay. Let them lean into your hand instead of just accepting it. The difference between a dog who endures touch and a dog who chooses it is one of the most profound shifts you'll ever feel. You'll see it. The exhale that moves through them when the touch finally belongs to them, the way they lean in instead of holding still. That's not just a calmer dog. That's a dog whose nervous system just learned something it's been waiting its whole life to know. 5 signs. A yawn that appears in moments of tension, not tiredness. A head that turns away during greetings that are simply too much. Paws licked until the fur changes color. A shadow that follows you room to room not purely out of love, but out of need. And a stillness under your hand that looks like peace, but is actually endurance. Number 1, watch when the yawn happens, not just that it did. Number 2, slow down the greetings and give your dog 5 seconds to breathe. Number 3, look at the pause and look at the daily routine. Number 4, practice quiet micro-separations with no drama. Number 5, learn the difference between a dog who's relaxed and a dog who's just still. None of this costs money. None of it takes more than a few minutes a day. Your dog doesn't use words. They can't sit you down and explain what they need, but they communicate constantly through body language, through behavior, through the way they position themselves near you or pull away. And every single thing we covered today is your dog's way of saying, I need this. I've always needed this. I just needed you to know. If this video changed the way you see your dog, share it with someone whose dog deserves the same. Subscribe to Canine Mind because there's so much more your dog is trying to tell you, and we're just getting started.